Yo, welcome back to this module, guys. In this module, we're just going to be going over some ways that you can start generating leads through outreach. So, first of all, if you don't already know, a lead is someone who clicks on your ad, a phone number, someone who schedules a call. It could also be a new subscriber, an email address, a door you knocked, or a person that just sees your content. A lead is basically someone you can contact. On the other hand, you have engaged leads. So an engaged lead is also someone who replies to your message after they follow you, someone who opts in on your website, or someone who subscribes to your email campaign. Then we get onto hot leads. So a hot lead is someone who is not just new to your content, but they're familiar with you, they follow you, they're actively engaging with your posts and stories, and they may even outreach you directly in response to a call to action. A hot lead is someone who's basically interested in what you have to offer, and rather than you having to outreach to them, they outreach to you. And then we have cold leads. So, as it explains, a cold lead is someone who is new to your profile, discovered through outbound messaging, and may be a bit more hesitant as they perceive you as a stranger or someone who is just trying to sell them something. The ultimate goal is to convert both highly interested and less familiar leads into client. But the approach to each type of lead will vary, just as you wouldn't communicate the same way with friends and strangers. So, just as a roundup, an inbound lead is when they outreach to you. An outbound lead is when you outreach to them. And the difference is one person knows you and is more familiar and the other person is not. And with warm outreach, when you make one-to-one contact with a warm audience or person, say someone you know or someone who follows you, a warm outreach can be a lot longer and time consuming. It can be personal. So this way it's best for connections and just being able to relate to them. Also, it's reliable. Okay, it works. You can always go into your network if you've got a consistent flow of new followers, so forth. And also, it's targeted. You can outreach to anyone specifically and see if this person, before even outreaching to them, is a good lead or someone who actually qualifies for your program. Then we move on to types of outreach. So there's two types of outreach. There's warm outreach and there's cold outreach. So with warm outreach, when you make one-to-one contact with a warm audience, someone you know or someone who follows you, with warm outreach, it has a few pros and cons. One con is it's a bit long and time consuming as you're individually reaching out to people. On the other hand, it's personal. So this way it's best for connections and really building that rapport. It's also reliable. So it works and you can always walk up to a stranger or outreach to someone and make a new friend or find and create a new client. As well, it's targeted. This way you can specifically outreach to someone who you think is a good fit for your program. If you see they're a coach and they haven't got a funnel set up or they have not got appointment setters and you can fulfill that role, then you know this is a good lead, I can help them. On the other hand, there's cold outreach. So when you make one-to-one contact with someone who is a stranger, at the end of the day, they don't know you, you don't know them, and it may be someone else's audience. With this, people have not really given you permission to contact them, so cold outreach can be a bit longer as you need to build a bit more rapport. It can be personal, which is great. More than anything, it's reliable because there's always an endless amount of cold leads you can outreach to, but there may be a bit less responses. And more than anything, it's the most targeted. This way you're outreaching to whoever you like, whoever you think could be a good prospect for your program. They may not be in your network, but because you find them in someone's followers, you can outreach to them and have the possibility of turning them into a client. But with these, it does take you owning your skills and really perfecting your messaging to be able to sign a cold lead into a client. So you just want to really be drilling your skill set and practicing with time in the DMs. And we can also do outreach to our existing network. So some potential clients could already be part of your network. You just need to approach them correctly. So these could be new followers, it could be likes and comments, regular viewers on your story, or simply following up with quality conversations that went cold. And you can go and use some of these questions or some of these outreach messages within your messaging. And here's some of them you can use. So, hey, I noticed you follow me and I'm grateful for the support. I thought I'd take the opportunity to reach out and connect. Or, hey there, I appreciate the support on my recent post. I returned the favor. I'm Chris, by the way. Nice to meet you. Or, hey, I've been seeing your name pop up on my stories quite a bit recently. Engaging my followers is something I love to do. How's everything going? Or, hey, I appreciate the follow. What inspired you to do so? I like this one. It's nice and simple, but sometimes it allows people to really open up to you. Not everyone's going to open up to you in the end, but it's a nice way to get that conversation started. And for more details, please refer to the messaging framework. And remember to use the ACA method to build rapport and progress the conversation into identifying a problem and solution. Don't just be an FBI agent asking a ton of questions, especially if they're cold. You're just going to get no reply. And one thing you can do is expand your connections within 1 degree. So if you've gone within your network, you can start going within your network's network. So these could be exploring the likes, comments, and connections of people already in your network. So these could be friends of friends, following of your pages in your niche. These could be pages within your niche or other theme pages. And this is a nice way to come up with endless amount of leads and people to outreach you. So when you identify potential prospects within your network, repeat this process by exploring their comments, likes, and following. There are countless small businesses and pages waiting to be connected with. So evaluate to see if they're a good fit for your program and qualify them before progressing or trying to put someone on a call. And remember, we're not trying to force sales. We're just planting seeds and nurturing them, occasionally with messages and relevant content to keep the leads warm. Remember to be genuinely interested in people and just come across like a friend. Okay, you're just really interested in getting to know people and then also helping people solve their problems. Another thing you can do is leverage hashtags. So what you can do is search recent hashtags with a post count between 100,000 and 5 million and continuously diversify your hashtag choices for broader outreaches. With this, you want to ensure you're targeting the right profiles, so ones with authentic business content, relevant posts, and a strong identity. And also, being in a tier 1 country is important. So one thing you can do, you can go to on Instagram, if you go in someone's profile, click the 3 dots, and then from there, it's going to show you about profile. If they're over 1,000 followers, generally, it's going to show you where the account is actually from. So this can save you outreaching to people, and it can just tell you, okay, this is a good lead, or this is a tier 1 country or not, and it can just save you a bunch of time. And while places like India is a prominent place on Instagram, be mindful of its economic dynamics, because at the end of the day, you want to consider the value of their country before pitching high price offers. Because in India, it's literally like 10 to 1 if, for example, the Great British Pound compared to the rupee, what you could buy for £1, you could probably buy 10 times the amount in India. So they just don't have the budget, so don't waste time trying to convert these people. And it's not about discriminating against them, but it's just plain and simply how it is. Another thing you want to do is align your hashtag strategy with time zones. So if you're in the UK and targeting the US, execute this strategy during India's nighttime and Europe and America's evening/afternoon. This way, who you're outreaching to, you've got more chance of them actually being a tier 1 country. So you're going to have a more quality outreach. For instance, UK time zone is 5 hours and 30 minutes behind India. So I typically employ this hashtag approach at 9/10 p.m. UK time, which corresponds to 2/3 a.m. in India while everyone else is sleeping. And then some book recommendations that I really recommend is one is $100 Million Leads. So if you don't know Alex Hormozi, this book has recently gone viral the last 2 years or a year. And this will be one of the best $30 you'll ever spend. The value in it is unbelievable with online videos, scripts, guides, etc. as well as the concepts inside the book. I highly recommend it, and it will go ahead and cover things like lead magnets, cold outreach, warm outreach, email marketing, cold calling, ads, etc. So really don't sleep on this one. Try out some of these outreaching methods. Cold, warm, always. If your warm outbound starts to slow down, or in your network you haven't really got any new warm leads, then you go to cold. So you should really not have a problem finding new leads. It's just a matter of spending time in the DMs and actually looking in the right places.